Namaste, fellow beings. Welcome to the 20-minute, hey Tyson, core breath. Or let's just say this. Let's make this a yoga for recovery for all of you folks that I know are needing some downtime to really check in with your vessel. What does that mean? That means that you've been going through some repeat kind of like discomfort in your back. I hear about it all the time. Yet, what are we doing about it? I don't know. Most often we repeat the same pattern over and over again, wanting to have a different result, and that result does not come out because you haven't changed. Stepping into the unknown is like a leap of faith, trusting, very important, that if you do implement some changes in your life, not knowing if they're going to work out or not, but I'll tell you, doing some breath work, some grounding yoga, say, we call it yoga, but it really is just, it's an exercise of being mindful. So a lot of you do have back pain, so this is for those that are struggling with their abdominals and their lower back. And I'm just going to turn down the music while Tyson hangs out with you guys. So today, let's get this party started. Okay? You do need to have a bolster, and if you don't, you can roll up a king-size pillow, a blanket of any sort. We may or may not need this stuff, depending on your body. And welcome, I'm Teresa Guigno, your yoga guide, or just let's call me the mindful, say, guide in getting to know yourself, your physical body, and breathing healthfully. 2 blocks, a strap. Sometimes we need them. You could go to my website under affiliates, and you could purchase all of this stuff online. A yoga mat for sure. If you don't have any of this stuff, let's just get this party started and see what you will need for the next episode. Okay, so welcome to your practice. Most important piece is belly breathing. So get comfortable. I like to sit on my bolster only because my hips appreciate it. If you have knees that flex like this and don't settle down in external rotation, trust me, you'll want a bolster. In time, as you practice as a beginner, it is overwhelming at times because when you start anything at a beginning point, anything, a new job, a new program, a new relationship, those are always fun though. It really does take a lot of effort to get into the swing of it, and then eventually it becomes effortless. So when you practice any kind of exercise program, it's going to take effort because you're moving your body, your muscles in ways that maybe you're not used to. And if you are a person that exercises, slow and down that's what's required today, because usually it's the muscles that are being overused or abused or not used that we're connecting with today. And if they're not happy, then your joints, meaning hips, lumbar spine, or any part that connects through joints, can be very angry. So slow down, or some of you need to just get a little flame under your butt. Okay, we're like the phoenix rising from the ashes. What once was, karmically, that's the past. Let's move forward. So I like to begin with a belly breath, and you can lay down and do this. A lot of people I know breathe up here. They're anxious. So to take the breath to the fullness of your lungs, which means all the way down to here. See, that's like flying your lowest rib. Like there's the 2 floaters, the false ribs, because they're not attached to your sternum. I don't know why they call that because they're not attached. And the ones that are true ribs are attached to your sternum. So you've got this big arrangement of ribs. They are there to protect your lungs. So start playing with your breath, noticing how it feels as I explain to the newbie what lungs are. On your left-hand side, there are 3 lobes of lungs, and there are 4 on the right. Most of us just breathe in the upper lobes. That's why there's so much dis-ease, because if the breath isn't moving fully through the lungs, moving the diaphragm into the gut, then there's carbon dioxide and stale oxygen that create dis-ease, meaning you're highly stressed, which stress is the leader of all diseases, pretty much. Fear. So when we stop and start to take deep breaths, that's the first antidote to disease. To release the disease is by breathing healthfully. So whenever you're getting anxious, you go, oh my God, just take a deep breath, stop, and feel it in your belly. Feel it in your belly, literally. The diaphragm presses down and massages your major organs. So important. Number one, belly breathing. Simple. Keep it simple, sweetie. Kiss, right? So as you find that connection, and if you're having difficulty with that, then just stay there with that. Stay there with that. So it's that fullness of the breath in and out. And this is about slowing down. Close your eyes and feel the fullness of your lungs, meaning all of those compartments. Every time you fully breathe in, your heart gets a massage, okay? Left side, or it's more left. That's why there's only 3 lobes on the left and 4 on the right. Everything is so beautifully organized in our vessel, you don't even have to think about it. It's automatic to breathe. Yet, the reason why I'm inviting you to belly breathe is because most humans are up here breathing. That's why we're so full of disease. So before you reach for pharma, come back to yourself, stop the insanity of chasing your tail on a hamster wheel and breathe. So you've got that. Are you breathing? So let's do 10 of them together. Sit up nice and tall or lay down. Close your eyes, hold your ribcage, Tyson. Don't you be barking in my class. Breathe. Big, full breaths in and out, about 10 of them. We won't do it together because I know I'm gonna have to go get Tyson at some point. You want to be able to feel the rib cage expand sideways, frontways, and back. It's like a barrel. Make audible sounds, move your neck around, roll your shoulders. Slow down. Slow down. You're fine. Good. So keep that breath movement, keep that mindfulness of breathing fully into the lungs. And then in your cross-legged seated position, whether you're sitting on a bolster or not, let's turn it towards the right. So I like to just motivate my body first before you start cranking it to the right. Take some swirling movements, swirly. You're gonna learn my vocabulary. It's kind of, sometimes can be humorous or just silly. So when you turn towards your right thigh, that's your right thigh. I'm mirroring you, by the way. Take your left hand to your right knee, if you may, if you can. If not, just work towards it. Resist it. Sit up tall so you feel this twisting occurring in your belly, and then turn not only your belly button towards the right hip, but your sternum. Draw the left shoulder back towards the left, and then start to circumvent your right arm around and land your right hand somewhere behind you, and then press into both hands. If you need a block underneath your right hand, present that. Some of you do have flexibility, things that we're addressing today, and twist. So as you're twisting, we go back to the breathing. We go back to the mindfulness of feeling the breath for 4 more breaths, just really getting into the fullness of your lungs. You can arrange yourself in a way that you're wringing out like a wet cloth. Oh yeah, right there, just cracking my own back. And you may start cracking your own back. It's part of the whole, you are your best doctor, chiropractor too. Good, and on your next in and out breath, bring it to center and switch out your shins, because what that does is it changes the pelvis, the wobble board. You'll learn this as you go. Right hand to left knee, you could stir it around first. Right hand to left knee, left arm somewhere circumvented behind you, so you want to keep your chest open. As you navigate your twist, oh, this one's a little cranky today. As you navigate your twist, use your hands to resist the floor, the bolster, the knee, to get deeper into your lumbar spine. So a lot of you with back issues do have the issue of addressing and being still long enough to do this. So be here now. Don't be rushing off doing something else. 2 more breaths. Find your twist. It's about slowing down and being present, and feel it in your gut. Good, and then on your next in and out breath, you're gonna come to center. And then this time you're gonna come off your bolster, and I'm going to address the knees. Take your right heel towards your perineum, left knee forward, left foot back. Notice if you're able to do that. You may have a rise up in that left hip. That's where your stuff is, I understand. If you do have a block, that would be awesome, or something you could put your hand on. For a lot of you, because now we're gonna lean towards the left hip, take the hand, if you need, if the hand's not touching the floor, onto the block or the floor. Start to feel your side body. That's where a lot of this stuff is happening, lumbar spine. Roll the shoulders back so you broaden in the chest, and then reach out through your right arm and start to circumvent your right arm up and about and around. Feel what you're feeling through the right side body. So it's quadratus lumborum, erector spinae, 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 tomato, tomato. all kinds of things are going on. So breathe your breath. Remember this about your breathing. You can even twist it a little bit over towards the left. Your foot is plantar flex. If this knee doesn't want to do that, you can always do it like that. And even have your knee bent for those with really tight hamstrings. Next breath, you're going to release your right hand onto the floor, secure it. If you have your leg out, you're going to bend the knee. If your left knee is behind you, you're going to press into your shins and you're going to lift your hips up. So this creates an extension in your pelvis, which you do need, especially golfers and runners, and open up your chest and move your neck around. So you're moving your neck around in circumvention so that you can feel your jaw release as well. Press into both feet, whether that foot's out in front of you, and lift your hips and spread your wings like you're an albatross. Big bird. Good. And then on your next exhalation, take your bum down, switch limbs, left heel in, right knee comes up, right foot goes back. So this is just about the only acrobatic thing we're going to be doing for this 20-minute practice. Move into this hip and notice the sensations of it. No pushing, no shoving. Right arm comes down, and I'm just going to say this, I dare you to do this all, guaranteed 4 times a week. You will start to feel that much more lovely about yourself because you're actually participating in not chasing your tail, but stopping, get off the hamster wheel, and doing something different for a change that's healthy. So yes, beware. We can either extremely swing ourselves in a pendulum direction, which is overuse, abuse, or the underworking of a body, and the under exercise, like not doing anything, can cause all of the same symptoms. Get it? So we really want to start to exercise presence. Left hand comes down, press into both shins. Remember, if that leg were not tucked back, it were out in front for hip reasons, then pressing into your left hand and left foot, you could rise up or pressing into both shins. So feel that energy. You do you. So you don't have to look at me. The best way to watch this is to put it on a big screen TV. A smart TV, that is awesome. Looking at a little screen doesn't really serve you. Watching the bird's eye view sometimes helps, sometimes it doesn't. 2 more big belly breaths. Take it into the diaphragm. Press the floor away with your left hand. Move your neck around. Then settle your hips down. Swing your right leg out in front and left leg. I'm going to turn sideways so you're on your mat or on the floor. That's why it's good to have this on a big screen. This time you're going to lay down, but make sure you have a bolster or a pillow somewhere at your side. Lay yourself down. This is all about the back, peeps. So from here, slide that blanket underneath your occipital, the back of your skull, because a lot of us have this. We're so into the future, we don't realize our neck's always an extension. So we got to bring our neck neutral. That means neutral. This is dumping the head down. I very often see people doing this, looking at the ground, because of, especially today, people don't want to look at people anymore. They're afraid of being judged. I don't judge you. I just tell you the truth. So with your head down, bum rooted down, hug both knees into the chest. Open up your knees. So a lot of you do have inner thigh issues. That's connected to your hamstrings. Hook your middle fingers into your inner knee creases. Bend your elbows towards the floor. Keep your bum down. Rotate your ankles. Spread your toes. So yeah, this is one of those, opening of the inner thigh muscles kind of like thing. It's, some people feel uncomfortable doing this, and that's why their legs don't open up, because they're like, oh, trauma, I understand. But it's really important to feel the length of those muscles, because muscles are not rubber bands. They eccentrically extend and concentrically contract. They're not rubber bands. That's a myth. I don't know where that myth came into practice ever. So just playing with your ankles, rotating your ankles, spreading your toes. Take a couple of breaths. Just let your hips open up through the inner thighs, because now you're going to squeeze your knees together. Thanks, Tyson, for the love. And then cross your left thigh over your right thigh. And then grab a hold towards your knees and your shins and hug them in towards your chest. So now you're going to feel your piriformis, your gluteal flesh. Hug them in and rock from hip to hip. Keep the neck neutral, keep the shoulders down, and keep that connection to the fullness of your breath. Remember, the best antidote for any dis-ease, stress, causes all diseases pretty much, fear, is to be aware of your breath and stop. Get off the hamster wheel and just do this. Be this, be it, feel it. So some of you have issues grabbing your knees. That's okay, you can be way out here. You'll feel your piriformis, your butt muscles. And when you're ready, shake up your legs towards the sky and then just Do the opposite. So now your right thigh over left thigh, or vice versa, whichever one you've done first. Do the opposite now. So hug both knees into your chest. So you're getting right into that gluteal flesh. A lot of you do have, but I'm going to call it your bunch of tight asses. Yeah, you are. So hug your knees in. It takes one to know one, right? So hug your knees in towards your chest. Rotate your ankles, spread your toes, get into your feet. Feet are so important. The more you play and participate in my practices, you'll start to get to know yourself that much more or understand the language, okay? Shake your legs up towards the sky, like shake your thigh flesh. Release the feet to the mat. Bring your feet as wide as your yoga mat if you don't have one. Pretty much wider than shoulders, not much. Bring your heels closer towards your bum. Open your arms up, and then this is where the belly breath practice is. So this is meditation in motion with movement of the pelvis. Okay, so exhale will take your knees to a side. So you're on the outer edge of the foot, inner edge of the other foot. Inhale, breath takes your knees to the center. So get into this rhythm. Exhale the knees to the other side. I'm inviting you to close your eyes so you can feel your pelvis. It's like a wobble board. Inhale, breath center, knees to center. Exhale, knees to the other side. You can incorporate your neck now. So inhale, face and knees to center. Exhale, knees to one side, and you're facing the opposing side. Twist your whole spine. Do this continuously. Breathing into the center and exhaling to a side. Stay with it. Find your breath. Connect with your breath. Pause. Not to speed this up. This is about slowing down and feeling your muscles. So some of you, I've watched you in class, you're like this. Slow down. Just because you're slowing down and things are slowing down doesn't mean you're not going to succeed, get fit, accomplish something. Most human beings do need to stop because they're not seeing the presence of the moment and seeing how injurious they are to themselves. So slow it down. You're going to be your best physiotherapist, doctor, chiropractor by doing this. So let this happen. Feeling that lumbar spine. And you're just rocking on the back of the skull. A couple more on each side. You could do this much longer. You could make this your favorite thing to do. Good. And then when your knees come to center and your face, reassess your lower back. And then let's just exhale both knees all the way to the right. This is why a bolster is handy. Slide your bolster up underneath your right hip. You may or may not need it. And then take your right foot to the outside of the left thigh. So this is adding some resistance, some pressure. In breath, your arms up towards the ceiling. Grab opposite elbow, forearm, wrist, or I call it Ganesh fingers, monkeys in the barrel, you know what I'm talking about. And reach those arms overhead. You want to be able to reach them and let them rest. This is where you come back into the fullness of your breath. Why do we have to breathe fully into our lungs? I hope you're educated right now. Without the fullness of breath into the lungs, we're not able to release any carbon dioxide that gets stale and oxygen that gets stale and stuck. It will get stuck within your anatomy, like it sticks to your walls. Think about how many people have had open heart surgeries or had stents put in. Heart conditions are literally one of the number one reasons why human beings are failing to live a long life. It's because we're stressed out. So how do we de-stress? Stop, get off the hamster wheel, do this, be this. So be in this position for about 5 more breaths. You can do it longer, literally. Choose your favorite positions in this episode and make it your practice. And don't think, Rome or your physical body was built in one day. Literally, it's going to take some time to literally cleanse the body of what is stagnant, still, sticky. So take the time, slow down, full belly breath. If I sound like a preacher today, it's because I'm sending this to all you that are needing to do it. It's just 20 minutes out of your life. On your next in and out breath, release that foot off your thigh. Bring your knees back up to center. Reassess your knees. Draw your knees into your chest. Hug them as deeply as you can. Squeeze the shins and knees together if you may. take your hands behind your calves, knee creases, or hamstrings, and just start to peel the bum up off the floor. You can slide your hands towards your calves or your heels, some of you. Some of you need to create space for belly room. So wherever your hands are, it does depend on your flexion and booby and belly energy, or they are energies too, space. So peeling your bum up, you become this like really flexed human being. And don't struggle, no struggling, no don'ts. Exhale, bend your knees back in towards your chest, release your feet to the mat. Then widen your stance once again, take your bolster to the other side. And then windshield wipe your knees to the left. And again, you'll notice I parked that bolster right up in my left hip, because now I'm going to take my left foot and land it on my right thigh, dorsiflexed. Reaching your arms overhead the non-habitual way. So whichever way you grab your elbow, forearm, or wrist, do it the non-habitual way. You'll feel it's awkward. Once again, chin tucked in towards the notch of your throat, and you're fully breathing. So remember, we're fully breathing into the fullness of our lungs, so the diaphragm gets activated, massages our major organs, spleen, think stomach, liver, gallbladder, urinary bladder, kidneys is what I meant to say, small and large intestines, and all kinds of good stuff that's within your gut. So the gut is where all disease begins. If we're not breathing fully, then our disease has already begun, because breath eliminates, creates the balance of our bodies. So get into your breathing, people. Stop, get off the hamster wheel, and just do this one posture. If having your left foot on your right thigh feels like it's really intense, more reason to do the practice more often. You can always take your foot off the thigh and still have this twist. Did I say 3 more breaths? They're slow and long breaths. Beautiful. On your next in and out breath, release the feet to the mat. Reassess your lower back. Draw your knees back in towards your chest. Yeah, just like that. And then from here, open up your arms like angel's wings or airplane wings or an eagle. Palms down or up, depends on your security of your shoulder blades to keep your chest open. Draw your knees as close to your chest as you can with your feet flexed and like a Barbie doll feet. So your feet are active, spread toes. And what we want to do is accomplish this internal, external, oblique connection. You're in control, keep your shoulders down. The exhalation will take your knees as far to the side, right? I'm starting on my right, keeping my left shoulder down. And then inhale up to center, slow it down, and exhale to the other side. Keep your head neutral, your neck neutral is what I meant to say, and follow your breath, slow it down. So the in-breath takes your knees to center, the exhalation takes your knees to a side. Keep your chin tucked in towards the notch of your throat. Do not let your legs rest. You're in control of both shoulders. The purpose of this is to contract your muscles concentrically, whereas the opposing sides are eccentrically fully lengthened. In balanced, what that means is that all your muscles are activated in your thoracic and lumbar spine. And this is where most of you out there golfers need to, runners, pay attention to what your lumbar spine is saying, your lower back and your chest. So this is keeping your shoulders open. Oh yeah, you gotta really keep your shoulders down, peeps. Keep your head down, a couple more breaths. Because I started on the right, I'm going to end on the left. So I'm ending, this is my last one. Inhale, center, good. Hug both knees into your chest. Shake out your legs, rotate your ankles, and then cross your ankles, and you choose either to roll vertically up or roll to the side to pick yourself up. Vertical rollers, you gotta tuck your head in, you can hold your heels, ankles, shins, something, and even practicing inhaling and exhaling. So you inhale shoulder blades, exhale sacrum. Inhale shoulder blades, exhale sacrum. So you become like a little curled up seed. Come on up, everyone. And then immediately, this is where your hip flexors are gonna scream for most of you. You could take your blanket across the tummy area on your floor or mat, or if you're on your carpet, you'll figure this out. Lay down on your pubis. I like like saying that word. Lengthen your legs out all the way, and then just tuck your hands right underneath the mind's eye, meaning your forehead. Make sure your nose can breathe. So what you're doing is stacking, laminating your hands so that your forehead is resting, and then squeeze your legs together to your best ability. Press into your plantar flex feet. I know a lot of you have ankle issues. Trust me, I could teach this for the next 30 years and still not get to what I really would love to express. So let's just take it easy, okay? Plantar flex your feet. Forehead is attached to your hands. Once you contract your quads, the front of your legs, your knees will hover, your feet are down. Knit the belly button towards the back of the spine, lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. And then from here, hover your forearms up off the mat so your head is resting on your hands. So as you hover your arms up, you're reaching through the crown of the head. Your whole spine is long. We're working the erector spinae, spinae, tomato, tomato. So you're lengthening your tailbone, you're pressing your feet down, you're contracting your quads, and the only thing that is rising up, really, literally, are your forearms are lifting up like a hovercraft. Your head is heavy on your hands for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and then release. Bend your knees and windshield wipe your legs so that your hip flexors pull up your pubis and gives you reprieve. I see this a lot in most of you. I really truly wish that all children born today in JK, would be taught this in school. Then we'd have no physical issues growing up. Switch your hands so the other hand is on the floor first, then the other one. Forehead attached, root your feet. When you're ready, start to elevate as you breathe full belly breaths here. Lengthening your tailbone, your shoulders are away from your ears, you're reaching through the crown of the head. Yes, I know I'm saying a lot of things. These are a lot of cues. To the beginner mind, you're not hearing it all, that's okay. You're toning the belly as much as you're breathing into it. So that's a really big feat. 5, 4, feel the breath. 3, 2, and then surrender. Bend your knees. Windshield wipe, you could turn your cheek to your hands. So you could do that about 5 more times if you want to, but less is more. Right arm out to the side, slowly done well, that is. Right arm out perpendicular to the shoulder joint. Left arm is at a right angle to the left. Slide out to your right hand, roll completely onto your right shoulder, hip, and ankle. So when you look down the tummy, you see that your sternum and your pubis and your inner front ankles are in line. Tadasana, I call it. Look at the bird's eye view. Am I pretty straight? I've been doing it for a long time. You'd think I would be, but sometimes I'm just off my rocker. Root deeply into your right hand, press into the left hand, and then bend your top left leg up. Start to circumvent it around, and this is a chest opener as well. And feel your back or your legs or whatever you're feeling. You'll feel whatever you're feeling. If it's in your practice to release the left foot behind you, great. And then start to open up the chest. If you've had scar tissue or issues done in your heart and your chest for whatever reasons, you may be more forward towards the floor, that's fine. Move your head up off the floor. Work your neck. Okay, so everything that you are doing, it's going to feel what you're feeling in the moment. It will change as you offer up the change. So feel that energy. Oh my goodness, I know this is more than 20 minutes, that's okay. Breathe your breath. You can always pause, rewind, and just take out the good pieces that you want. Slowly exhale, bring the top left leg to join right leg. Slowly come onto your tummy. Stack your hands once again, and notice what hand is first. Glue your forehead to your hands. Squeeze your legs together, and then rise up once again for 5, for 4. So you're lengthening your tailbone towards your heels, knit the belly button in, and you're lengthening through the crown of the head. 3, 2, 1, release, bend your knees, windshield wipe. Deep breath, left arm out perpendicular, right arm at a right angle. Make sure your left arm is about 20 degrees below your shoulders. And then from there, pressing into your right hand, slide all the way onto that left shoulder. Make sure it's not above. Okay, keep it in that wonderful spot. Reassess, look down the belly, all the way to the inner arches of your ankles. And then reassess, lift your head up. Press the floor away with the root of your right hand. You can use the bird's eye view. Then start to dance. And so this gets you into the mobility practices of using muscles cognizantly while you're in your sport, you run, whatever you do. So a lot of you people do repeat the same activity over and over, whether it be Shlumpasana, I call it sitting on the couch, or overrunning your Achilles, your ankles, and your pelvis, because there is such a thing as addiction in both ways. And then there are those who just need that fine tuning. So learning where your stuff is. Do not negate your pain. Look, feel your pain and breathe into it, but do not make any more pain for yourself by doing this position. Feel what you need to do. Invite that rooting through both hands. Allow that your heart connects. That right foot landed somewhere behind you. Move your neck around. Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. And then nice and slowly come back onto your tummy. The other hand stacks. Non-habitual, forehead glues, plantar flex your feet. When you're ready, squeeze your legs as tightly as you can together, and then once again, lengthen through the crown, then rise up for 5, for 4, so your shoulders are down your spine, 3, you're feeling the length in your neck for 2, and then nice and easily soften, shake your bum a little bit, slide your hands to your lowest ribs as you hover your face up off your hands, of course. So find your lowest ribs, they're right back here, not underneath your shoulders. I see a lot of people do that. Take them back. So my arms look like right angles. See the right angle? Right angle. Really root into your wrists, curl your toes, flex those toes towards your kneecaps, press knees, think toes, knees, and hands. Lengthen your neck, look straight at your mat, lift your pubis, and then press up. And then plant or flex your feet and move all the way back into a child's pose. Now you're gonna feel your lower back. So this one I do on my massage table, and it's important because we're extending the whole lumbar spine, the kidneys. Big belly breathing. So open your knees and let your heart sink down, or you can squeeze your knees together and sink down, but let yourself sink down. Breathe that breath and relax, just relax. Again, there's so much that you can do for yourself. But yet, if it's 20 minutes, if it's timing or so, this is not 20 minutes long. Do what you need to do. Take care of yourself. Slowly start to wield yourself up like a sorcerer. And then from here, sitting on your shins and just taking a moment. If sitting on your shins doesn't work for you, then sit on your bum. Take a really big breath into the fullness of your lungs and out. Do it at your pace, okay? So really paying attention to your breathing. So I hope a couple of these exercises, because they are physical awareness in the moment, physical movement is so important when we are adapting with breath. Do whatever sports you want to do whatever things that you want to do, but come home and take care of it. Realign it. Just like your car, you want to go like bat out of hell on the highway, but you got to make sure you service the engine first, right? Or take care of it after. Everything has its place. This place is sacred, so take care of it. From my light to your light, I hope you found that really helpful for your lumbar spine. And you can always join me at teresagagno.com online, because I have about 15 videos per category every time, and it's an easy one. Okay, thank you. Namaste, you guys. I hope you found that titillating.